Here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Glad you stopped by. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome. Grab a seat and stay a while. But hey, do me a couple favors first. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Then go next door, ring that notification bell. Make sure it says all so you know when the next video pops up. Hit that like button. And before you head out, drop a comment. And if you're of the 770 regulars here, well, welcome back for another round. As you also hit that like button. And before you leave, drop a comment, because as we know, YouTube does love those comments. And of course, as always, share this video out on all social media. Socials, Instagram and X down below in the description, along with a link to that wonderful Joker Voice merch store. Okay, not a whole lot to talk about in pro wrestling, but there were a few stories of note. The search for John Cena's final opponent is officially underway. A WWE champion talks about how wrestling saved them. Dave Meltzer says something ridiculous again. And WWE has quite the week. Someone would say it's even been elite. So let's not waste any time because we got about maybe 10 minutes. Let's discuss.
And here we go.
So ever since the announcement that 2025 was the last year of in-ring performing for John Cena, the question has been, who would his last opponent be? Well, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter submitted that a tournament would be held to determine who this individual would be. For once, Dave got something right, as at Saturday night's main event, it was announced that January 10th on Raw, a 16-man tournament begins. Now, this will include talent from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, maybe some faces that weren't even in the WWE, TNA. So for the next 4 weeks, they will be working their way to find out who will join John Cena in his final match at Saturday night's main event, December 13th, in Washington, D.C.
Now we're talking.
Now, our next story comes to us from the wrestling news, as a wrestler recently took to social media. Not for the usual dribble you'd expect from celebrity and athletes these days. Rather, the opposite. Studying how pro wrestling has given them purpose. Now, that is the former World of Stardom champion, the former NXT Women's champion, and the current Women's United States champion, Giulia. She took to X, where she reflected on her, as of right now, 8-year career, saying that wrestling saved her when her life was going nowhere. Going a little further, she said, she is still on her journey, and there is so much more to do, and she's going to keep climbing higher and higher, and that she loves wrestling with all her heart. Every cheer, every boo, I'm grateful for it all. Great thing to say, and let's hope that WWE Creative has big plans in 2026 for the beautiful madness.
Damn right.
Now, for our next story, we're going to Sports Illustrated. Now, we all know that relationships and marriages within pro wrestling, it's nothing new. I mean, The Miz and Maurice, Edge and Beth Phoenix, etc., etc. However, in WWE Creative, including the couples in storylines paired together, it's few and far between. So when Aleister Black returned from AEW to the WWE, he pitched the idea that he wanted to be paired with his real life wife, Zelina Vega. Now, Chief Creative Officer Paul Levesque initially wasn't sure if this would work. However, recent success of the storyline with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee caused a bit of a rethinking where Paul Levesque said, this could really, really work. Now, I did mention our first story mentioning the name Dave Meltzer, that he did say something about the WWE that ended up being correct. Well, in true form, Dave Meltzer said something ridiculous. This was reported by Ringside News on the November 1st edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio. Dave regaled his listeners with a tale where he said at one time the WWE reached out to him based on low Raw numbers, and they wanted Dave Meltzer to join their creative team, and this pitch was sent to him via phone call from a WWE executive.
Sure.
Dave, of course, turned the offer down. This was never for him. This was never in the cards at all, because he was waiting to be a paid shill for AEW.
Duh.
Kidding, joke, kidding, just kidding. Maybe. But speaking of AEW versus WWE, an interesting photo op hit social media soon after Saturday night's main event. Now, the photo had the new WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill, former AEW TBS Champion, new World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, a former AEW World Champion, the recently crowned NXT Champion Ricky Saints, a former AEW talent, and the current WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, not just a former AEW TNT champion, but a former executive vice president and founder of AEW.
Oops.
Now, not to kick AEW in the teeth any more than I already do, but just a week earlier, there was another photo op at NXT's Halloween Havoc, where former AEW talent Ethan Page not only defended, but retained his NXT North American title. A photo with the new NXT Women's North American Champion, Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May, the former AEW Women's World Champion. Now, the current TBS champion, Ultimo Mercedes Monet, or whatever she calls herself, took to action and said, look, AEW is everywhere. Yeah, everywhere except AEW. But these are just some of the stories that came out in the world of professional wrestling. Now, be sure to tune in this week, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on this channel, as me and the guys will be talking about some of this and a whole lot more. Of course, I'm talking about Wednesday night is overbooked. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, folks. Again, quick reminder before you head out the door, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, hey, thanks for sticking around this long. I appreciate it. And I'll see you folks all very soon. Hope you had a great weekend. Have a wonderful week ahead of you. And always have fun. Keep talking. Keep smiling. And until next time.